A very good morning to one and all. And myself Sindhamati, and I am going to handle your subject Power System Operation and Control, which has a subject code of EE8072. Okay, so today we'll have a discussion about the basics of or introduction of your subject. Okay, let us also call it as a orientation program of your course, which is your Power System Operation and Control. Now you are in the final year of your Bachelor of Engineering, and in this subject you'll completely able to know about what is power system, what are the equipments used in the power system, and it's how it is being operated and how it is being controlled through different scenarios. So okay, so that is what you will completely discuss in this course. So by at the end of this session, okay, by the end of this video, you will be able to clearly explain the basic course facts. Okay, what is the fact of this course and its relevance in shaping your engineering career. Okay, so let us enter into the topic. So the subject completely it is 40 percentage theory and 60 percentage problematic. So it will cover almost 45 hours to complete this course, that is up to 54 periods. Okay, so it is almost problematic subject. Okay, only 40 percentage of your subject is theoretical part. Okay, these are the units that is being distributed in your course. So first unit is preliminaries on power system operation and its control, and unit 2 covers about real power frequency control, and unit 3 will completely cover about reactive power and its voltage control, and the fourth unit will cover about unit commitment and economic dispatch, and the fifth unit you will be seeing about computer control of power system. So let us discuss one by one. Okay, so that you will know it what unit you will study about what topics. So in this unit 1, so the unit 1 will tell about the today's India's power consumption, production, the grid management, how many regional centers, national centers, okay, how the power is being distributed all over the India, okay, how many grid systems available in India, then what is the load curves. Okay, so this is what you will discuss in this unit. So the aim of this unit is to understand the operation and control of power system, and to have an overview. Objective is to have an overview about the power system of control. So after completing this unit, the student can understand the day-to-day operation of power system and how it is being controlled on the implementation on that system. Okay, so when you know this complete unit, you should have an understanding that where all it is being applied. Okay, so after this completion of unit, you might know that these topics that have been covered have been applied in the load dispatching centers and all substations. So, okay, so this is your topics that you will cover in your unit 1. First one is your power scenario in Indian grid. Okay, in India grid, what is the distribution of power? Next topic will be a national and regional dispatching centers. So how many centers in India are there regarding your dispatching of powers? Okay, then third point is what are the requirements of a good power system? So good power system in the sense without any bulk, the transmission should be bulk, and there should not be any interruption in the transmission of power. Okay, so that system is said to be good power system. And what are its requirement? That is what you will see in this topic. Next one is a necessity of voltage and frequency regulation. Next point will be your real power versus frequency and reactive power versus control loop. So before that you will see about what is real power and what is reactive power and how it has been related with the frequency and voltage. So next point is your system load variation, load curves, and basic concept of load dispatching center. So what is this load variation and load curves and basic concepts of load dispatching is something that the load is being varied day to day, even hour to hour the load will be varying. Okay, so in order, with this variation of load you have to supply power. For example, sometimes on the night time you will, you want your AC to be on, but in the daytime you will not need sometimes. Okay, so the load is being varying, so at this time it has to be given the proper power during this change in the variations. Okay, so next topic is your load factor and diversity factor, and next topic is your load forecasting. So what is the word forecasting? Tells you about for the future, for the next day, how much of load is being used and how much of power has to be generated. So that is your forecasting. Then basics of speed governing mechanisms and modeling. So you will see the complete topic later, because it can't be explained in single line. Then speed load characteristics. So regarding the load, how the speed is being changing, or regarding the load, how the, regarding the speed, how the load is load power is being varied. So regulation of two generators in parallel. So when two generators are in parallel, what will be your regulation? So these are the topics that will be covered in your unit 1. Okay, on the whole, the first unit will tell about the power scenario and the load changes with respect to the power. Okay, that is what you will be completely seeing in this unit, a very interesting unit 2. Okay, the next topic is your unit 2, which will tell about real power to frequency control. So the aim of this unit is to understand the concept of real power and frequency control, and the objective is to model the power frequency dynamics and to design the power frequency controller. So after completing this unit, students shall be able to understand the load frequency control and automatic generation control. Okay, the word load frequency control and automatic generation control. So even you didn't know this the word load frequency control and automatic generation control after completion of this unit 2, then it is nothing that you have learned from this unit. And finally, where these power, real power and frequency control has been applied is in the power generating plants, because the frequency has to be maintained while the power is being generated. Okay, so the power generating plants are where like Kudangulam, okay, some plants where the power is being generated. Neyveli Lignite Corporation. So wherever your power is being generated, okay, you will your this particular real power to frequency control will be applicable in that particular area. Okay, Papa. So next topic is your reactive power to voltage control. Okay, the aim is to understand the concept of reactive power and voltage control. The objective is to model the reactive power voltage interaction and the control action to be implemented for maintaining the voltage profile against the varying system load. Students shall also able to understand the what is the outcome. Will be able to understand the reactive power and voltage control and working of types of excitation system. So where all this reactive power to voltage control is applicable is that power distribution companies and exciter manufacturing industries and other transformer manufacturing companies. Okay, here all you have to maintain your reactive power and the voltage has to be controlled. So the topics being covered is generation and absorption of reactive power, basics of reactive power controlled, static and dynamic analysis, stability compensation, the methods of voltage control. Okay, so these are topics we will be covering in your third unit. On the fourth unit, the very important topic, unit commitment and economic dispatch. So the committing your unit. So committing unit is your plant that is used for generation, or a generator used for generating some amount of power. Okay, that is unit. So what is that unit commitment is? You are committing the unit in order to produce this much of energy, what the load is actually needed. that is unit commitment. And economic dispatch is economically you have to commit this units. What is that economically committing is this unit is, for example, your load is only 1000 kilowatt, your generating plant is 500 kilowatt and 2000 kilowatt. So which plant you will be using to produce your or to meet your load? So either the 500 kilowatt two times or the 2000 kilowatt single time. So obviously 500 kilowatt two times, so that you have a generated power in economical way. So okay, that is what the basic concept explained here. So the aim of the unit is to understand the concept of unit commitment and economic dispatch problems, and the objective will be is to find the generator's scheduling. Okay, scheduling in the sense, in morning, for example, in the morning or daytime, some amount of generators will be in on. Okay, for example, the daytime load is only 1500 megawatt. So 1000 megawatt and 500 megawatt generators will be on, that is scheduling. And for night time the power generation may be reduced, so almost 1000 megawatt, so only one generator of 1000 megawatt will be in on, the other will be shut down. So that is the scheduling. So the objective is to find out the generating scheduling and to get idea to minimize the fuel cost of the generation. So on the outcome, so after completing this unit, you can able to develop and to solve the unit commitment problems and develop skills in the economic scheduling methods. So where all it has been applied is, it has been applied in power stations and load dispatching centers. Okay, so in this unit the topic you will be covering is formulation of economic dispatch problem, input output characteristics, that is for the incremental cost curve, coordination equation without and with losses, solution by direct method and lambda iteration method, statement of unit commitment problem, priority list method, forward dynamic programming. So these are methods of unit commitment. Okay, so for the last unit is your computer control of power system. So the aim of this unit is to understand the computer control of power system, how the transmission of power or control of voltage, frequency, current, real power and reactive power has been controlled with the help of computers. Okay, the objective is to understand the various computer control process involved. So what are the process you can use to control the power system, voltage, current and reactive power, real power, power factor, whatever may be, with the help of computer. So after completing this unit, students shall be able to explain the computer control in power system operation and control. So application where it has been applied is load dispatching centers. Okay, then process control stations and substations. So here all computer control is being used for controlling the power systems parameters like voltage, current, power, power factor, whatever. Okay, so what are the topics you will be covering? So first one is need of computer control of power system. What you should know what is the need of computer control of power system. Then concept of energy control center, and SCADA, what is SCADA and what is EMS. Okay, the network topology, state estimation and WLC and contingency analysis, then state transition diagram showing various state transition and control strategies. These are what the topics you will be covering in your 5th unit. Okay, so I have given you some textbooks, magazines and journals that will help you to study this course, complete this course successfully. So these are some of the Indian authors and these are some of the foreign authors, and it is a magazine that where you can find the some trends, recent trends in electrical power system, okay, magazines. So these are some IEEE papers which will help you to complete this course successfully, and some of the journals, okay, okay, some of the case studies, okay. Then significant of practical significant of the course is that the students will have knowledge of operating principles and individual parts which comprised, have knowledge in operating power systems in safer limit, okay, can also develop different types of exciter modeling and their applications. So these are something that we can do projects. So the pricing of power, how can be derived based on unit commitment and scheduling can be studied. Role playing by modern tools in operation and control of the power system can be analyzed. Okay. So where are the jobs in this scope in the job market on studying this course? Power sector industries, power utilities, manufacturing industries, research and development laboratories, and defense organization like DRDO, renewable energy production, and industries like BGR, Energy System Limited, Variable Power System, Numeric Power Systems. Opportunities in power marketing industries like Transco. Okay, then opportunities in government sectors like NTPC, TNEV, and other power transmission and distribution companies. Okay, so any queries you can call me, and we'll see in next video lecture, and thank you.